Namaste. I see the divine in you as you see the divine in me. Namaste. And isn't this the most beautiful way to learn to greet each other? As I see the divine in you and you see the divine in me, we learn to understand that we are working towards a time of love consciousness, collective love consciousness, and what that means. Collectively, we work together with very, very high divine star beings who are here to bring us upwards. And this is what the activated of CAEAYARON can enjoy, growing into the love collectively, not only with star sacred world healers, but also with star brothers and sisters on a galactic scale. So I wish to join you for this very, very time, at this time, in the way to allow myself to step out of the way so that you can hear the Master's channel. When I channel, please know that it's not my human wisdom that's coming through, because on that scale I don't consider myself to be very, very wise, though some of my friends might say something different. But it is beautiful when divine comes through, because that is true wisdom. And they always have the right words to say, and they know who's listening, and they know when to say, and that is all the things that they need to say, and that to me is more beautiful than anything. So whenever I am in front of people and I allow CAEAYARON, Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great, or any of the other guides to come through, that is beautiful for me, because it just comes pouring out. And it doesn't matter who's sitting in front of me, it's just always so perfect. So please know that when I channel, I don't prepare words. I can't remember words, I can't remember lines. I always say that I don't have a microphone on, it just comes flowing through. So I'm going to read the forgiveness statement before I begin to close my eyes. CAEAYARON, I bring you now into my spaces of love and healing. I ask for your presence and for your love to be with me at this time. I forgive all that has caused my pain to happen. I release it now. I allow the angels to take it away for me. I bring in the love and the peace, and I desire to understand more joy and self-love. I surround myself with the highest loving divine beings who are here to take care of me. I let go of all fear within me. I release it. I trust that all things are perfect as they are. I am ready to love myself and all of life more. Thank you, CAEAYARON. Thank you, great divine love. Thank you very much for joining me. And before I go and close my eyes, I'm just going to relate this most beautiful message to Stephen. There's no light showing on the camera, Stephen. Is it filming?
Yeah.
That's fine. Just as long as it is filming. Sorry. Namaste. Greetings, dear brothers and sisters, dear sons and daughters in the light. I am Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great. Happy is the one who is awake at this time. Happy is the one who searches for truth and who understands the time of the great awakening is here. Happy is the one who accepts my divine sovereign being, Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great, Happy is the one who understands that Jesus was my designated channel 2,000 years ago, and I, as the great sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great, prophesied to return in the same manner as I did then when I spoke through my channel, Jesus. Happy is the one who accepts Suzanna Maria Emmanuel as my designated channel. For that one, I, as the great Lord, can truly guide and bless. Happy is the one who accepts that I am divine source, and that I am here to guide the people to flows of love and peace. For they have been praying earnestly within their heart for many lifetimes. Please, Lord, guide us to the ways of love and peace. Guide us to the ways of true forgiveness. Allow me to understand what your will is, Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great. Give me the courage to follow the divine path, just like Jesus said the divine path would be. For did he not say that following the path of the great love was not an easy path to follow? Indeed, he spoke about the narrow path, and the narrow path was difficult to climb. It is those who earnestly have been seeking the path for many lifetimes. It is those who would find it in these times. At this time, it is magnificent for those who are awakening to this. For now, the great mountain of light, the great CAEAYARON, is showing with its brightness and guiding the people to that narrow road. A narrow road leads to eternal life in the higher love dimensions. And the people 2,000 years ago listened to Jesus speaking about these eternal love dimensions. Know that no suffering exists within the love of the Great Father, for the Great Father always will promise you divine love and divine guidance, and whoever is within the heart, they will find the great happiness. For the Great Father is searching for those who want to be in the heart of the Great Father. At times, the great path may not be easy to find, for isn't it easier to listen to the words of men when they say, follow this or follow that? Look, this is the path of the Great Father. But it is the one who keeps searching within the heart, who knows the words of the Great Father or the words of men. For many men, they pretend to be the Great Father. The Great Father does not work with those men. For those men do not want to glorify the Great Father. They only want to glorify themselves. Look at the pain they cause for pretending they are working for the Great Father. And the Great Father will say to them in those days of his great return, get away from me, for I will show the people what you did in the Great Father's name. I will show the people how you turned so many against the great path of the Great Father, and many will begin to see it. And then the Great Father will say to the people, be in the great forgiveness and see the difference between the path of men and the path of the Great Father. For the Great Father will never cause any suffering to any of the children of those who are in the heart and who are desiring to walk in the path of the love and the light. The Great Father is always guiding those towards the higher path of truth, and truth will always set you free into the everlasting dimensions of the greatness. And that is where true paradise is. Happy is the one who is seeking the higher path. For there is no death in the higher realms of love. There is no suffering, and there will be a day when the people will be up there and they will say, "Gone is our suffering forever and ever. Now it is the time of true rejoicing. For the tears of the past have truly been taken away. And now we are going to rejoice more into the love. Never shall we forget the tears of the past, so that we can appreciate our true freedom. We are truly happy because we remembered the love." This was what Jesus stated 2,000 years ago to the people when he spoke. What heavens did Jesus talk about? Why is it a time of rejoicing now? Why have I returned as the great sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great? Because I always promised. The great sun will rise upon the world again, and the path will see the great sun rising. They will hear the word being spoken to them. They will see the rising happening. They will understand the greatest path of truth. It is those who are within the heart that will see all, and it is those who will be guided to everlasting fountains of truth and of greatness. Happy is the one who desires this, for then they can feast at my table, and the spiritual food will nourish them everlastingly. It is now the time of that sacred prophecy when all these times will come about. For I always promised to return, and indeed I have returned with the great mountain, who is the great CAEAYARON, who was created by my being as Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great, to bring healings to the people, to bring them into the realms of love when they desire it, and show it by being gifted again the gifts of purification, the flames of greatness at the divine activations, so that they can receive the great codes of love back within their hearts and join the greatness in the great spaces. Are these teachings different to 2,000 years ago? No, they are the same. For Jesus spoke about the keys. He said, "You have the keys of the great kingdom within you. And those who keep searching for it will find it. And you will go through many times. At times there will be darkness. And it is through the darkness that you must be praying. Keep praying for the light to rise. Keep praying for the guidance to rise, so that you may pass through the murky darkness and see the light. And say to the great Lord, Lord, I stayed awake to these times. I am now picking up my torch of greatness, so that I may follow you, so that I shall not fall asleep like the great majority on the earth, but I will show that I am wide awake. Send me, great Lord, send me. Awaken me to the great field of love, so that I can be of service to you and help others to wake up. Awaken me, great Lord. I desire to work with divine union. This is what Jesus spoke about 2,000 years ago. The keys of the kingdom are the keys of the greatness. They are your keys of life, your divine activations with the great CAEAYARON. And those keys are talents, and a talent is a gift. And those talents can become very great as they multiply in very many gifts. One gift that is given to you at the activations can multiply in so many universes, and you can grow into greatness when you seek the love within you. When you seek divine will, then all these things will come to you. The people 2,000 years ago asked Jesus, when you say, Jesus, seek divine purpose, seek divine will, are we asked to worship divine? For the men in the speaking houses, the preaching houses, the synagogues say that we must worship. So is it different when you say seek divine purpose? Go to the great Father. What is the difference? Jesus stated, the great Father does not desire you to worship him. For then he will say, go and find the love within you. For when you worship me as a great Father, you do not have love for my being. For worship is worshipping an idol, worshipping something you've been told to do. You do rituals in the preaching houses. You speak about many things. You are expected to do many things. You say your prayers over and over again. But the great Father desires you to come from your heart, because then he can join you in your spaces and he can reward you. When you worship a God will not reward you, for then you come out of fear of judgment. You are never judged by the great Father. Know that he asks you to love him with your heart. That's why he keeps saying to you, go within your heart and find the keys within your heart. For it is only those ones who are in the love with a great heart who will find the great freedom. And coming into the great heart is not easy. For many people cannot come into the great heart until they find love within them. Go into your chambers. Go into your private rooms and pray for that love to come within your heart. Pray for the great Father to connect to you within your heart, so that you may know the answer to your question. You will know when you know, because it is the Father who picks the people. He knows who desires to come to him with a heart. And so he will speak to you with your heart and within your heart. For how can the Father come to those who do not desire to have the path of the great heart? For then he will say, I will wait until you are ready to reach within your heart. For if I come to your heart and you are not ready to listen, then you are deaf to my ways. Then I cannot help you. I will only come to those who desire the path of the great heart and who desire to learn to love the great Father. And then Jesus said, and it is that the Great Father is searching for those who desire to always put the great divine will first. Come, let us pray and see how you can open. And so he stretched out his arms and he said, Great Father, let us search for you with our hearts. Open our hearts, Great Father Emmanuel. You are the great one in the great heavens. Teach us to do your will, so that it is your will that we do, not our own. Teach us the gifts within the heart. Teach us to stay awake when you return with your great call, so that we may not be found sleeping, but we may be found awake, ready to do the great will, so that when you say, Great Father Emmanuel, go and do the gathering of the people, come and gather them and bring them into the great mountain, then we will be ready at that call. Please search within our heart and see the great goodness within our heart. And when you see goodness within our heart, please make it bigger. Please help us to grow greater. Please bless us, Great Father, so that we only see the greatness within ourselves. For that is so what is needed, is to see the heart of ourselves, so that we can truly say, we are working in union with the Great Father Emmanuel, and we are following divine will. May he bless us forever. May he bless us eternally. May we be in paradise together. And then the people started to pray themselves. For Jesus said, go and now pray. Go and pray within your heart silently. So they did. And they shed many tears. I felt the Great Father Emmanuel, Jesus. Is he seeing me? And Jesus stated, the ones who have felt the love coming within the heart are forever blessed. May you be awake at that time, so that you know when the great time is of the great gathering, so that you may not be asleep, but you may be awake and be part of all the great blessings coming. Greetings, I am Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great.
Greetings.